In this video, we would like to share with you an amazing selection of must-see war movies available on Netflix streaming platform. This movie genre depicts battles, conflicts, the experiences of soldiers and civilians during wartime, exploring the harsh realities of war, including its physical and emotional toll. Let's start right now. We want to open our selection with one of the greatest and highest-rated war movies of the last decades. Sam Mendes's war drama, 1917, which takes place during the First World War in 1917, tells the story of two British Army soldiers, Schofield and Blake. The heroes face an impossible mission: to get into the heart of enemy territory and deliver a message that will save their fellow soldiers, including Blake's brother, from a deadly trap. Second movie from our list was based on a true story. It's an epic biographical war movie titled Hacksaw Ridge. Raised by a tough but fair father who had fought in World War I, Desmond Doss learned the most important Christian commandment: thou shalt not kill. When World War II began, he volunteered for military service as a combat medic, determined to save lives rather than take them. Desmond Doss carried dozens of his comrades out of the line of fire, and, as a committed pacifist, became one of the greatest military heroes of all time. Netflix original movie All Quiet on the Western Front is an adaptation of the famous novel by Erich Maria Remarque about a generation destroyed by war. German Empire, 1917. Young Paul Bäumer and his classmates, riding a wave of patriotism, volunteer to join the German army in World War I. However, their romantic illusions about service are quickly dispelled when they encounter the realities of the front. Paul rethinks everything that had previously seemed clear to him, but is forced to continue fighting while waiting for an armistice. One of the best Netflix original movies, Beasts of No Nation. A young boy named Agu becomes a victim of a conflict that flares up in an African state. The war takes away his family. His father dies, and his mother and sister go missing. Left alone, he is forced to join a group of mercenaries. In this dangerous world, filled with ruthlessness and aggression, Agu faces the brutal realities of military conflict, which radically change his life and perception of the world. One more movie that we would like to recommend for watching is the war drama titled Fury. The action takes place in 1945. The Third Reich is noticeably beginning to collapse, but German soldiers continue to go on the offensive despite everything, and do not abandon dreams of victory. Each soldier is already beginning to feel the sweet taste of victory, but brutal bloody battles continue. The crew of the Sherman tank, led by our brave tanker, is preparing to go on a mission in the enemy rear. The entire crew, including the commander, expects serious difficulties and dangers in battle, because they will have to face an enemy that is in many ways superior to them in weapons and dangerous firepower. We would like to present to your attention the historical war drama from Netflix, The King. At the center of the story is Prince Hal, who doesn't recognize his royal origin, preferring to lead an ordinary life among ordinary people, spending time in drunkenness and carousing with his faithful friend and mentor, the knight John Falstaff. But when his tyrant father dies, Hal is forced to take the new name of Henry V and ascend the throne. The young king dreams of the beginning of a new era in the history of England, but as an inheritance from his father, he got a protracted war and devastation in the country, as well as many ill-wishers who dream of taking away his throne. War drama Unbroken was directed by world-famous actress Angelina Jolie, is ranked 7th in our selection. Louis Zamperini was a participant in the 1936 Olympic Games and showed excellent results that could have brought the young man victory in the next Olympic Games, but the war made adjustments to his life. He goes to the front. Louis's plane crashes. Now he and his comrades find themselves alone on a small raft tens of kilometers from the shore. They drifted across the ocean for 47 days until they saw the long-awaited shore. But the happiness of salvation didn't last long. As soon as they moored to the shore, they were immediately taken prisoner by the Japanese military. The Forgotten Battle is set in late 1944 and tells the story of a bloody but decisive battle that claimed 10,000 lives but strengthened the Allied forces liberating Europe from the Nazis. Movie plot centers on the fates of three young people: a Dutchman who fights on the side of the Germans, an English pilot, and a local girl who participates in the resistance movement. With impressive cinematography and a gripping storyline, The Forgotten Battle highlights the human experiences behind historical events, shedding light on the personal sacrifices made by individuals caught in the turmoil of conflict. The film has been praised for its realistic portrayal of battle and its emotional depth, bringing attention to an important chapter of World War II that is often overlooked. Netflix original war drama titled Mosul. The movie is inspired by true events and centers around the battle to reclaim the city of Mosul, Iraq, from the clutches of ISIS. The story follows a group of Iraqi soldiers from the SWAT team as they engage in a relentless fight to retake their city. The film tightly focuses on the harrowing experiences of these soldiers and their courage in the face of overwhelming odds. It captures the emotional and physical toll of combat, showcasing brotherhood, sacrifice, and resilience. This movie serves as a poignant reminder of the very real consequences of conflict and the heroism of individuals who strive for peace and freedom in the face of adversity. Outlaw King. Movie plot is based on real events that took place in the 14th century in England and Scotland. After the death of the King of Scotland, who left no heir, the King of England, Edward I, seized the throne instead of choosing a successor. Led by William Wallace, the Scots revolted, which led to the beginning of a bloody war. But soon Wallace is defeated and flees, and the lords are forced to submit to King Edward I. However, the proud people are not going to live under the yoke of England, but are going to win back their lands. Robert the Bruce, forced to fight for the independence of his country and people from English rule, seizes the Scottish crown and begins a fierce struggle against one of the strongest armies in the world, led by a ferocious tyrant and his spoiled son. The Outpost. An American-Bulgarian action war movie based on real events and was directed by Rod Louie, starring Orlando Bloom in a main role. Movie plot tells the story of a small detachment of American soldiers who fought against vastly superior Taliban forces in Afghanistan. On October 3, 2009, a bloody battle took place between the American-led coalition forces and the Taliban near the village of Kamdesh, which is located in Nuristan province, where the coalition forces had set up their checkpoint. It was attacked by Taliban forces consisting of 300 mujahideen. The fierce battle lasted for more than 12 hours, and the Taliban were finally repelled. Munich, the edge of war. In 1938, Europe was on the brink of major warfare as Germany planned to invade Czechoslovakia. Former university friends Hugh Legat and Paul von Hartmann, now high-ranking officials in the British and German governments, desperately try to prevent the outbreak of World War II. Hugh and Paul are going to Munich for an emergency meeting where they are forced to convince British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain of the need for a tough and decisive response to Hitler's actions. Operation Mincemeat. This war movie is based on real events and directed by John Madden. Set in summer 1943, Allied forces are developing a plan to land in Sicily. In order to minimize losses, British intelligence decides to convince the German command that the Allies' target is actually Greece. A stunning must-see war drama titled Narvik, Hitler's First Defeat. Set in April 1940. The eyes of the world are on Narvik, a small town in northern Norway, the source of the iron ore needed for Hitler's war machines. 2 months into the brutal Winter War, Hitler had suffered his first defeat. And the final movie in our selection titled Da 5 Bloods. An American war drama from Netflix tells about 5 black U.S. Army soldiers, Paul, Melvin, Otis, Eddie, and their commander Norman. During the Vietnam War, they guard the crash site of a CIA plane carrying a chest of gold bullion intended to pay off locals who agreed to fight the Viet Cong. A skirmish with the enemy leaves the squad leader dead and the area bombed. 40 years later, 4 Vietnam veterans return to Ho Chi Minh City to find Norman's dead body and the gold they believe is theirs. War movies remain significant for their ability to connect audiences with important historical narratives and the profound emotions associated with the experience of conflict. We hope you enjoyed this video. Write in the comments, what is your favorite war movie? Like this video and subscribe to our channel to not miss new movie selections.